Tell you what, you don't have this problem with a good old-fashioned CD. He says brandishing his CD.
Pop that down. No one wants to see that.
Ooh. Ooh, pappy.
Today, James and Alex are answering the age-old question, which is better, the Beatles' Abbey Road or Spice Girls' Spice album? I'm going to do that whole thing again. Fighting in the Beatles corner is James, and fighting for Spice is the other one.
It's really the only good one.
It's not by a long way the best one on the album. It's like, okay, but it's still a novelty song. As good as it, but it is still
they're
great.
They're a novelty band.
They're not. This was a novelty single followed by proper great songs. They're not a novelty band.
If their name's Novelty.
No, it's not.
What are they called?
They were originally going to be called
Spice.
Spice. No.
Bedroom Tax Spice.
Brexit Spice.
Fracking Spice.
Jeremy Corbyn Spice.
Chancellor of the Exchequer Spice.
Yeah.
What's more recognisable? Sporty, Posh and the rest, or John Paul, George and Ringo? We all know the answer.
I don't know. I mean, what are they? John Paul, Luke, John, Lucy?
No, they wrote the Gospels.
Great books.
Watch your fleas making sleazy peas.
This is a great song. This was their second single, and they had to try and establish themselves as a real band that wasn't a novelty act, because everyone had written them off as a one-hit wonder. This went to number 1 in the UK, I think number 2 in the US. It was a huge hit everywhere, and it just like really established them as a serious, long-lasting group.
Serious?
You're damn fucking right. You only say they're not serious because it's 5 women. Oh, I went there. They wrote a lot of the stuff.
Aside from the Spice Girls, there are 7 other writers on this album. Whose album is it?
But I think if you're gonna get bogged down in writing credits with this album, you're really missing the point.
No, because there is no point. I was listening to it earlier, and there's no cohesion to it.
That is exactly what there is.
Cheesy peas, Rumpelstiltskin fleas.
What's happened to you?
And as for bees, they're dying in vast numbers. What do you think of this one?
It's not my favourite.
Okay. This one and...
Something Kind of Funny.
Yeah, and Naked are clearly filler. My problem with this album is that it feels like
there's
a couple of really good singles.
Filler.
Yeah, and then a couple of things that they're like, oh, this could be a single, and then they thought, oh god, we've got to make this a full album so we can sell it.
This, I just think, is so perfect. All the way through, like the lyrics are really great. It's like, it's clever, it's so catchy, it's really fun.
New Windows 10 unplug and pluggy noises are really quite ominous.
Do you think?
Yeah. Isn't that what David Cameron whistled when he was entering Downing Street for the last time?
I bet that's his favourite song as well.
One of his Desert Island discs.
Yeah. That's going to be one of my Desert Island discs. And this one's called Naked, and it's about like being naked.
That's the whole shtick though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Naked. Do you know what that means? We ain't got any clothes on.
You know what happens when you're naked? Zig-a-zig sex. I really like this.
I'd put it down as one of my filler tracks.
I think it's
good. The whole album is just let down by a lot of filler. But it starts off, the first side of the album is really good, really strong. Other than 2 Become One. 2
Become One is like a classic. It's everyone likes it. Even people who don't like the Spice Girls love
dreadful,
2 Become
awful,
One.
Abysmal, atrocious.
Come on.
Again, it's just sex again.
2 and 1, and then it's like all. I actually went in the wrong hole. That's why I'm bad at sex. It's so weird. It just sounds off, but in a really on way. Also, Jerry does this really dodgy Spanish rap.
Awful and not an album closer.
Alright, I agree it's not an album closer. No, it's brilliant. I mean, you're incorrect. That's the whole Spice album. It has a really consistent mood, sound. It's not powerful, it's confident.
It's inconsistent, it's incoherent.
Alright, well I think that's quite a good segue onto Abbey Road, which I
believe is a 10 out of 10, all killer, no filler, completely start to finish, hits.
But you know what? I think you've got a bit of a cheek saying Spice Girls is all nudge, nudge, wink, wink. It might be about sex. Come together.
It's not the entire album. It's not every single song on the album. And the Beatles didn't make... That wasn't their shtick.
I think this is such a steaming turd of a song.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Just try and defend it, because you know that it's shit. You're just being a contrarian.
No, every single song on this album I love. The production is probably the best on the entire album.
I still
It's really...
It sounds stringy. It doesn't gel. Oh, look at all these, like, sinews and veins. It's like a metaphor. Like, stringy.
This is just sex. This song is filthy.
It is quite dirty. Dripping with
Oh,
filth.
God, yeah. You can smell it.
Should we have a little kiss at this point?
No.
Nope. I feel like they both make vaguely sexual music without being overtly sexual.
Zig a zig sex.
Well,
It's pretty overt.
I used to think she was saying cig a cigar. I thought she wanted a fag. I thought she just
wasn't,
wanted
though, was she?
to leave the club and just have spark one up, like a big, like, I want to say a Jimmy Savile cigar without saying Jimmy Savile. Well, how would
You've
I
said
say
it twice
that?
now.
I've said it twice. Don't want to be saying Jimmy Savile these days.
Let's Jimmy Savile on to the next one.
Okay, let's have a little Savile on to number 7. This is so perfect, which is why it's such a shame that it's consistently downhill from here.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
They've had all these different song ideas, but they were too lazy and they all hated each other so much by this point that they thought, right, fuck it, put it in a medley, and it sounds messy.
They know that this is their last album. They know this is their last thing they can give to the world.
Maybe.
And they're just giving like this distilled Beatles performance. Oh, this is nice, but probably my least favourite song on the album. Got really nice harmonies in it and some made-up Spanish. So a bit like Jerry Halliwell.
There are so many connections between these two albums. I don't think scholars had noticed this before, but...
Maybe we're not so different after all.
Yeah, maybe the real journey were the friendships we made along the way. Where can you start with this shit show?
I think it's great. Funnily enough, John Lennon hates this and he wrote it. Also, he's dead.
Alright, where do we start with the misogyny in this song?
And transphobia.
Yeah, the transphobia
Well,
in this
let's
song.
gloss. I try not to listen to lyrics.
Well, this is just trash. It's a half-baked idea that never should have been popped in the oven.
Oh my.
This is so laddie. It's really like
No,
just.
it's not.
It's really
No, it's
taps
not.
off,
No,
dicks
it's not.
out for Harambe. Everyone at the football with their arms around each other.
If I ever were able to hire a drummer, I'd be like, can you do fills like Ringo does on Abbey Road?
You know who the best drummer in the Spice Girls is?
Who?
None of them, because none of them can play any instruments.
We're now into You Never Give Me Your Money again.
That no one asked for.
Fucking hell.
I didn't like it the first time round, and here it is.
But now it's just like, when this comes up, it's like, I'm at the top of the mountain.
We'll get down.
This is what Phil Spector wanted to be.
I thought he just wanted to be a big old murderer.
You're about to hear the end of the greatest band that ever existed. Which is sad that there hasn't been a better band since.
Until the
But it's
Spice
true.
Girls came
But
along.
it's fucking true.
Oh,
Yeah, but their last album was
that's such a
abysmal.
fuddy-duddy thing to say. Oh, the Beatles are still the best.
Well, I wish I didn't have to say it. Wait, shh.
Self-indulgent.
Oh, does that not affect you at all?
Given the stick that you gave If You Can't Dance as a closing track, I don't think there is anything worse than...
This is the end of the Beatles. This is everything we were, and that's it. That's our treatise. We're done. And then they just dick all over it with this twee ditty, and I just think
Paul
that's
with
a
his
really.
dick out. So I think we can
You're
conclude...
a Philistine.
We can conclude that Spice
Alex
is a better
Philistine,
album,
and that
I think,
Alex is a
from that.
Philistine.
The
Alex
Spice...
is a Philistine.
You don't even know what that word means.
Do you?
Do you?
That's not. That wasn't my
Yeah,
question.
but I asked first.
Well,
what's a Philistine?
Let's just move on.
Great big doggo. What's your closing case for Abbey Road?
It takes you on a journey. The first side is just like killer after killer after killer track, and the second side, it's like when you in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory when they go through the tunnel on the boat. That's what it's like.
Yeah, but that
And
wasn't a pleasant experience for anyone on the boat except the sadistic Willy Wonka who you are in this metaphor.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the kids hated it because it was frightening.
Well, it's the children who are wrong.
The Spice album is like the bit where they first opened the door to like that Wonderland bit, and there's a chocolate fountain, and everything is made of sweets.
And then they slowly all die, and people fall into
No,
the
this is
chocolate river
before
because
they
it's
die.
too sickly.
Before they
Or
die.
Gus just gloop.
I disagree, but I think we have to agree to
We
disagree.
do.
And I guess at one point we'll just thug it out.
Yeah.
Fisticuffs or Dixicuffs.
Thank you very much for watching. This episode has been dogged by technical difficulties. He's going out tonight and he's late. He had to wash his shorts. You might have noticed he's not wearing any trousers.
Not even a one trouser.
Mm-hmm. We're off next week.
Are we?
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Right. Thank you very much.